First off, before we get started, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Because everybody get something for their significant other? Anyone? Because I have not yet, so just so that's clear. Right. Do I have any fun plans? Probably stay at the office for as late as possible. Get as much done as humanly possible. Kind of taking in the time right now. My family's back in Oxford, Ohio, so taking in the time as much as I can right now to invest and pour into our guys.
Trader Joe's flowers, never a bad call.
Or Costco. Costco, $29.99, right? Two dozen, and they last forever, like 2 weeks. Like, it's insane. So that's usually the go-to.
Get her a hot dog while you're there, too.
Well, that's for me, right? You know, it's $1.50, a hot dog and a drink. It's a crazy deal. So, but no, I appreciate everyone being here today. Look forward to ultimately get to know everybody in the media, and fired up to be here. So go ahead and start asking away.
Jacob, what's it about Coach Bell's system that's going to translate from FCS level to Power 5, the speed of the ACC?
Sure. A lot like Coach Bell talked about last week. At the end of the day, it's all about the players, right? And in his offense, right, it's all about putting players in the best positions to go make plays, right? So I think that's ultimately what translates in football, right, is the opportunity for guys to go make plays. And as coaches, it's our job to put those guys in the positions to do that, right? And so I think Coach Bell does a tremendous job. Like, I'm beyond fired up to get to be a part of his offense because of that, right? Because we're going to have guys out there flying around. They're going to be in different spots, right? And we're going to utilize them in a lot of different ways. It's going to be a pain in the neck on defenses.
I know you're just getting to know these guys, but Gavin obviously had a big first year here.
Yep.
And hasn't had the same type of success. How do you get him back? What are some of the things you want to work with?
Sure. I mean, it's like we're preaching to our guys right now. It's all about day by day right now, right? Like, nothing in the past impacts anything that's going to happen in the future, right? And so Gavin, yes, has had a ton of production. You know, shoot, I'm going through cut-ups last night, and I'm watching him catch back shoulder balls and seam routes, doing all these different things, jumping over guys from Tennessee, right, and then going another 40 yards, right, and spiking the ball in the end zone, right, and getting the crowd going. And so for me, my message to him is, man, just be who you are every single day, right? What a great opportunity for him, right? Because he's such a competitive guy. He's been through the ups. He's been through the downs. So now for him, the challenge is can you be that consistent pillar in everything that you're doing, right? And let that be contagious to those around you, right? Because we got a lot of youth. You know, you look at that wide receiver room, there's a lot of youth in there, right? So he's got a lot of hats to wear, but I think that ultimately is going to benefit him because now he's going to be able to really take that next jump and get back to where he was and even more. Yeah, Jake Rinda, unbelievable athletic, right? Unbelievably athletic. And I tell you what, his intent to get better is like unlike anybody I've ever been around. I mean, he's up here, I kid you not, like 9:30 at night coming up here watching more film, right? Coming in, asking me, he sits down with a thing of note cards, which I haven't seen note cards since like 7th grade. Right? He comes in there, he pulls out a thing of note cards, and he's writing down concept on the back, and he's going through it. Right, and so I mean he is unbelievably ahead of the curve in my opinion right now. We were obviously just out in the field. He did a great job. You know, Jake Overman from Oregon State, what a great guy he's been for our room. You know, he's kind of that more thumper type body, and he's really buying into his role right now. And shoot, he's accepted that, and he's doing a great job. And he's getting better in the passing game. Obviously, he's down there with Coach Stacks, right? Movement skills, he's improving there. And then there's some unproven guys, some younger guys, but fired up about those guys to have them. You know, Cole Mitchell, and then a couple of the walk-ons there. So fired up about those guys.
How beneficial is it for the new adapt necessarily when you're all adapting?
100%. Adapting together, I like that word right there. Yes, we're all adapting together on the fly, but I think it's tremendously beneficial for us, right? Because like I told our guys, right, brutal honesty as a coach is first and foremost. So I was very honest with our guys from the jump to tight end, saying, hey, look, guys, I'm in this thing the same as you guys are. Right, so I mean, I think that's an awesome opportunity to show some vulnerability as a coach, right? To let those guys know that we are in this together. You know, I'm going to screw up as a coach. I'm going to tell you the wrong thing, but guess what? That's okay because we're going to move on. We're never going to get beat twice. We're going to constantly get better day by day. Right, so I think that's huge for all of us to be in this thing together. You know, learning Coach Narduzzi a little bit too as a staff, learning how he likes things to be. Obviously, he's extremely meticulous in everything that he does. So we're all learning that together right now.
How did this opportunity for you come about? What's your relationship been like? What is that relationship like with Pat Narduzzi? How far back did that go?
Yeah, so it came about, this year it was like January 7th. It was about 8:30 at night at the convention, right? So at the AFCA convention in Nashville. And I get a phone call from a Jacksonville, Tennessee number, which I'm like, okay, this is a telemarketer, I'm not answering this. And then I get a text message from Coach Bell and says, hey, this is Coach Bell, new offensive coordinator at Pitt. Would love to talk to you and see about your interest level for the position. So immediately call him, right, juiced out of my mind. And so I talked to him, and then he proceeds to tell me, hey, we're going to meet, Coach Narduzzi wants to meet with guys and interview them in person here at the convention on Monday morning. Right, so literally that night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning in my hotel room, and I'm sitting there, thank God for PFF. I'm pulling up PFF, I'm watching Coach Bell's offense, right, because these are the opportunities you want. And then obviously I've known about Coach Narduzzi in the profession. I did not have a prior relationship with him. Right, but I've known about what Coach Narduzzi is all about, right? He's obviously an established head coach. I mean, shoot, when I was at Tennessee, they came down to Knoxville and ultimately grinded out a gritty win on the road, right? So that tells you all you need to know about a guy, right? To come into an environment like that, right, get behind early. We actually blocked a punt early in that game, and then to keep grinding it out, like, shoot, that's a guy you want to come work for, right? That's a head coach that you want to come work for because there's a reason that team's that gritty and able to do that on the road.
Looking at special teams, on both sides of for both punting units, there was some inconsistencies here last year. I'm curious, just over the course of your coaching career, what are some keys, what are some things that have worked well on both punt and punt return, and just what's kind of your assessment as far as how maybe you can apply some things you learned over those years here at Pitt on punt return?
Right. Biggest thing is I always think inconsistencies come from guys maybe worrying too much about the result. Right, and that's the biggest thing right now, stressing with the specialists, when we get into some stuff with the returners, right, stressing that to those guys is don't be results driven in anything that we're doing. Like I was just talking with our punters today, like when we're out there, that scoreboard ain't on, right? There's no fans in that indoor. Right, so when we're working, we're worried about, right, what are the little things that's going to allow me to go be successful? So now we're trying to accumulate those little things day by day. So now those results and those inconsistencies can start to narrow just a little bit. Right, and that's ultimately how you develop consistency. It's not some magic thing that's just going to happen overnight. It's about how you do things day by day with deliberate intention in everything that you're doing. And then from there, the second piece of it is just confidence. Right, like you guys are elite specialists. Right, there's a reason this job was so appealing, not just from the tight end side of things, but because of the specialist units. Right, Junko is as talented as can be. His leg speed is tremendously gifted. Right, so as a coach, I'm juiced up about that. If I'm not, then I'm cheating him. Right, I'm excited. So now it's pouring into him to make him realize, hey, you are a dude at what you do. You're one of the best in the world at what you do. Right, so let's go out there and do that every single time we're on the field.
What's impressed you the most about this program, even for the time that you've been here in the city?
The connection of the program, and obviously it starts at the top with Coach Narduzzi. That was one of the first things on my interview that I realized about him is we're walking, I think, to the cafeteria, which we got unbelievable food in there. We're walking in there, and Coach Narduzzi stops every single time he sees a player to say hello to him, talk to him. And as a person interviewing, like that's the place you want to be. Right, because this is all about people, right? Everybody in the country's got nice facilities. We got really nice facilities, but everybody's got that, right? What makes the difference is the people in these chairs, right, and the coaching staff. And so the connectivity of the staff. I mean, even us in the offensive side of the ball, like I haven't known Coach Darvo, I haven't known L, I haven't known Coach Bell, but I mean, heck, we're all staying in the Indigo right there, right? So we're all together all the time. I feel like I know those guys now, and it makes it incredible. And I think that trickles out to the players. That's why there's so much energy from our players right now, and you're seeing that, and you feel that every single day you're in the building.
What do you like about Pittsburgh?
So love about Pittsburgh. So one, my oldest son, Brody, was born here, right in Swickley there. Okay, so love Pittsburgh for that. It's a special place. I love him to death, obviously. He might be my favorite. But yeah, and then after that, the people, right? Just a gritty place, a ton of tradition, and a ton of pride. I grew up in Texas, which is a place of a heck of a lot of pride. And that's what Pittsburgh, to me, that's what shocked me the most. Just how much pride people that are from here, Yinzers, right? And how much they take pride in everything about the city, the culture, and ultimately the history.
Ben Stalls has oftentimes talked about the mental approach to kicking. You had a really good one last year with Graham over at Miami.
Yep.
How much of that is, when it comes to place kicking, how much of that is teaching the mental aspect of the game and then the physical aspect of lining up and putting the ball through?
Sure. I think when you get to the point that Ben's at in his career, I mean, he's made 31 career field goals. He's just under 78% on his career. Last year, all 6 of his misses were 42 yards or more. 3 of those 6 misses were over 50 yards, right? So I say all that because Ben's really talented. I just talked to him this morning. Like, at the end of the day, Coach Narduzzi's not trotting him out there for 50-yard opportunities if he's not extremely gifted, talent-wise, right, and physically. So from there, to answer your question, it does turn into the mental part of it. And he's rock solid up there, like as good as I've ever been around. Like you said, I've been around some good ones with Graham and Jason Sanders, and Ben's right up there with all those guys in terms of his approach every single day. He's been tremendous for me to be able to lean on, and in terms of the specialist room, and he's able to convey my messages to those guys because he is the leader of that room. And the way I look at it, he's the leader of this program because he's been through a lot too as well, just like a lot of those other guys. Yes, success is always going to be the players, right? Like when good things happen, I'm going to point the finger at all those guys. When bad things happen, it's going to be me, right? And that's I said that to those guys this morning. It was our first ST meeting. It's like Christmas around here. I know it's Valentine's Day, but it was Christmas. And so for me, it's all about the players. And the places I've been, the players have bought in. Like, yes, there is a structure and a process, and I do believe extremely in what we do on special teams and how we go about those things. But at the end of the day, it's about putting those guys, no different than our offense, putting them in positions to go succeed. Identify those guys and then put them in positions to go succeed. And that's what ultimately has led to the high level of success that I've been fortunate enough to have in my career.
Any final questions for Coach before we get to our player representatives?
You have 2 new long snappers with you as well, so you are seeing any 2 new long snappers.
Yeah. Yeah, Upa's been awesome. I mean, golly, I said it at the event that we had after signing day. I mean, he literally is in here all the time. I mean, now I won't pronounce his last name because I can't. I've tried. I really have. I've tried so hard. I hate the word try. I'm going to get better at it. But, man, he's been phenomenal, like really, really consistent, right? But you're consistent on the field because you're consistent how you take care of your business in the training room, how you take care of your business in the weight room, how you take care of your business when you're eating, right? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And that's what he's been. He's been a pillar of that. And you already see it out there. Like when we're doing stuff on Saturdays, I mean, he's already really, really consistent. It's helped Ben. It's helped Cam Guest, our holder right there. So fired up about him. And then Nico's done an unbelievable job as well, just coming in. And both of those guys are pushing each other because competition's ultimately, I think, in a specialist room, competition's the most lacking thing in college football because those guys all know who the guy is. So then naturally, it's really great to be a Pitt Panther on campus. It's a great spot. It's a great city. It's a great university. So to have those guys pushing each other is ultimately going to make our room that much better.
Coach, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, guys. It's good to meet everyone.
Thank you.